Stats played that one a little bit more confidently. It seemed like herO thought an Oracle was coming, so he was just playing really safe. He wanted to delay that Nexus, and then he just never made it. He was just way far behind, and he just wanted to not make a Nexus and try to kill Stats, but Stats was already way too far ahead.
Yeah. Having that Robo and having that Immortal out, plus the force fields that he had to trap those Stalkers. I mean, herO typing GG that fast, totally warranted in that case.
Yeah, man.
It's a lot of units, but the fact that he had the Nexus Cannon alone was just going to be a problem. He would have been able to buy time for Immortals anyways. We're going to go into Catallena now, one of our larger maps here in the pool, for game number 2 here at the Korea National Finals.
Up here in the north, at about 12:30 in the red, he's up 1-0. It's Stats. KT Rolster.
And over here at the 9 o'clock in blue, down a game in this series. For CJ, the favorite tonight, it's herO. Both going for the, I would say, very similar builds, not the same. Both going DTs. Another shot of this massive crowd we've got here today. Come down, everyone looks like they already finished their hot dogs.
I saw one guy out there eating his hot dog still. A little bit late to the party, maybe he ate before. Maybe he didn't know about the hot dog, he wasn't paying attention. Could have just had his dinner here.
Yeah, it's definitely a possibility. So it's really important in a finals, that first win. It gives you a ton of momentum. I always like to reference this stat. In Korea best of 7 finals, it's like 89% of all finals are won by the player who wins the first game. Those are in best of 7s. This is a best of 5, so it's a little bit different. But just keep that in mind. That's a crazy stat. Winning that first game gives you so much momentum in a best of series. Even in a group, you know, where you're playing several best of 3s, potentially up to 3 in a group, winning that first one really, really helps. Winning that first game in every best of 3 you play in any competitive sport, be it, you know, StarCraft, Street Fighter, a real sport, fencing, something like that, you know, getting that first point on the board is really, really a ton of momentum.
No, you're definitely right. I was just laughing about that guy on the right there. He seemed a little bit nervous about being on camera there. But, you know, it's so true. Even besides the fact that you are up a game, it's really a lot about momentum as well.
Stakes are so high right now.
Yeah.
So a much faster core here this time for Stats. Yeah. About 1 probe faster.
Yeah, we'll just put down that 11 gate, so slightly faster, not the 10 gate we see sometimes.
Yeah, we'll see what he's got planned with that. It's you know, a fast tech, but it's not a rushed tech. There's a slight variation. And you can see he's also mined quite a bit more gas rather than the minerals, about 50 more or so. Let's see what he's got planned here. Core's done. Warp gate research canceled. And
Stargate. There it is, and unfortunately for Stats here, herO is going to scout him first. Did not go to the other location here, so he won't be able to deny the scout. herO's going to know exactly that the Stargate is coming his way.
I wonder what he's going to do in response. There's a lot of different things you can do. A really common way to respond is to add your own Stargate. Let's see what he decides to do. Twilight Council is not a bad choice either. He's denying some mining right now. Super nice multitasking going on here.
Most of core is out. He's going to try to kill this probe, and
herO drops a pylon because he wants to make sure this doesn't get canceled. And also, if he makes this pylon, he's going to see what unit comes out. And if he wants to hide the unit, then it's going to be so delayed. So it's pretty much win-win here. He'll probably cancel the pylon. Yep, selects it there.
Yeah, 25 minerals there just to get that much scouting information. Definitely worth it. And so he drops down that Twilight Council right away.
That was a really good move to drop the pylon. I like that a lot. And the Twilight Council comes out here. He's getting ready for the defense because even if it's a canceled Oracle, the defense at this point is basically the same. You just want to keep your Stalkers right at your Nexus with your Mothership Core. Shut that down. Phoenix comes in here. He knows it's real. Not going to be able to deny the scout, though, on that Twilight Council. I think he saw at least one of those gates as well.
Possibly.
He saw no Nexus, so fairly reasonable to assume something like that is happening.
Yeah. I mean, he sees the Twilight Council, sees a couple of Stalkers. Not too far a guess to say that he's probably going for Blink here.
Just checking everywhere for pylons and also for dark shrines. Just checking for anything because he doesn't know what's coming with that Twilight tech. Probe is actually trying to sneak across the map, but will be found. And probably all these Phoenix are just going to zone in on him right away. Yep, lifts him immediately. No escape.
It's always so crazy that programmers like always see that tiny little blue dot that's going across the map all the time. The mini-map presence is unbelievable.
All right, 3 Stalkers versus 3 Phoenixes. Obviously the Stalkers chase the Phoenixes away, but the Phoenixes get now towards that base that's exposed. Sentries are all that's left here to defend. One's going to get picked off right away. The second one looks like it will as well. It's very expensive, and the Phoenixes get away with only shield damage. Meanwhile, those Stalkers are getting closer to the base. Looks like they just want to pressure a little bit since that probe went down. He can't really do much with these. Might be able to trade here, force the Nexus cannon out, and then leave. He also identifies there's no Nexus.
That's really what he wants to do at this point. His Nexus is going to be very, very far ahead. We do see that Stats has that Robotech down a lot earlier, and he is going to get these Immortals out much faster. So that's what Stats that's going for him. He does have that tech, but herO has the economy.
Oh, this is not looking good. He's going to lose one of these Stalkers right off the bat here. And those Zealots keep the other Stalkers at bay. The rest of the Stalkers that are coming up here very late. This probe does get the pylon off, but he's going to lose a lot of momentum here, losing another Stalker right now, at least a lot of the hit points on it. It does go down, and now he knows what's up. But he's so far out here with these units. I don't know if this is going to be the right choice to blink forward, though, because an Immortal's about to pop out, and he's taking so much damage with these Phoenixes.
Super aggressive blink, and he does get the Mothership Core, but he's losing so many units.
This costs him so much. The only tech advantage he has in this game is blink, and he no longer has enough Stalkers to really do much with it. He does still have that advantage in economy. He has 2 Nexi now, so he can make double probes. He's also got double Chrono Boost. He's trying to get a little bit more information about the unit comp here, but he doesn't have any high ground vision over here either, so he can't even blink into the main. This is a rough place to be right now for herO.
I'm not sure about herO continuing this attack. With 2 Immortals out, he's going to see it now, and I think he's just got to go home. Unless he just wants to play the part of just continuously warping 3 at a time and just trying to break down the front.
So difficult to do with 2 Immortals there, even though there's only 3 Zealots that accompany them, and now those Sentries that just got warped in. If you mess it up once, you're in big trouble, and oh no, looks like he's going to lose the Mothership Core here as well. May cost him a Phoenix. Nope, gets out. And now he can even harass the probe line.
Yep, there's nothing here. How much energy do these guys have?
Looks like he's
Not
out.
Enough. Need that 50. Just get a couple more.
Wow.
Stalkers are back, though.
So hard to kill a Phoenix and Stalkers, even with blink. You pretty much just have to make a mistake in order to get caught. I mean, this is looking really good for Stats right now. His own Nexus is late, slightly, but because he had the better worker count for a lot of this time, and now, well, I guess I should say he has had even worker count because of the harassment. The fact that herO had that base up earlier only helped him slightly, and the tech problem is a bigger one. He's also got this Forge up now, so he can get the +1 faster. He's in total control of this game right now, and he still has the presence of those Phoenixes.
Yeah. He's also got just that much better comp. He has these Immortals in his mix. He's going to have them for the rest of the game later on, even if he goes into Archons or that kind of thing. It seems like he is going to put down that Ruble Bay. Try to go for the Colossi.
Yeah, when you're ahead, it's a pretty safe choice. herO's not too far behind with the upgrades. He's going to have his Forge done in just a second here. We'll be able to get his +1 out pretty quickly after. It's a little bit later on his assimilators, that gas mining. Just to give you guys like, all the super technical infos here. Might get a Phoenix. Nice targeting there. Does get one. The cost of a few probes.
This is a fake one. Just going for the scout.
Yep.
Sees the timing on the Forge. And
I
sees
think
that the robotics facility is up.
Yeah, I think he's trying to find out, you know, is your Bay up? Or are you going Bay? Are you going Charge Zealot Archon? What are you doing? What's your next move here? And he hasn't been able to find out yet. So every 50 energy he sends a new scout. Or rather, every 100 energy. To send that across. Every time he's got that new hallucination available, he's just going to keep sending it. And this is, you know, just continuing to happen for both players. It's very difficult to deny scouts. Nothing is really a mystery here.
Yep. Very common occurrence here in PvP, just continuous hallucination scouts. Again, he's going to send his second hallucination, and doesn't see the bait quite yet, and it is actually going to get denied. Although he did see it.
Yeah, he did see it there at the end. So let's see how quickly Stats. Oh, Stats is doing that gateway flower over here, and we're gonna see how much he commits to his next aggression. He does get the +2. which means that he really just wants to make sure there's no chance of a third base. Poke a little bit with his tech advantage. Try to take some good trades if he can. Force herO to be on the defensive. And just continue his upgrade lead. Well, with 6 gateways, he might actually just try to hit an attack with charge and +2 and end the game. We'll see what he's got planned. That's a lot of gateways.
Yeah, you know, he may just want to roll with his advantage and go for something like that. He's chrono boosting out his upgrades as well very, very fast. And I'm not sure if he was actually able to see with his hallucination when the forge of herO came up, but if he's paying attention, possibly he will know that his +2 will be ahead, and he could try to hit some kind of timing with +2.
Well, if he's being really diligent about clicking on these units every time, and you know, maybe saw the forge timing, he probably knows he's a little bit ahead, and that's something that he might try to utilize, especially when his +2 finishes. He's probably going to check right away and say, "Oh, you don't have it yet. We could fight now." The Twilight Council is coming up, or excuse me, the Templar Archives is coming up, so you can get Archons in the mix as well now. I want to point out that we keep talking about how Stats is ahead and he has all these advantages, but herO is catching up. He's, you know, in the mid game of PvP. You can catch up quite quickly. This game is definitely far from over, and herO has a lot of fighting chances to come back here. He's got a very large Blink Stalker army he can use to backstab and maybe catch units. So he's going to keep Stats on his toes here. Yeah,
we saw him do it in Game 1 against Sora, you know, with his Blink Stalkers, really just using his multitasking to try to punish Sora. But, you know, in this position, Stats has got 3 Colossi out in a huge army. He does pick off some of these Zealots here, but he will be taking a bunch of shots, especially from the Colossi as well.
Does not only kill the Zealots, but slows down this attack, which is really important. He's going to catch these Stalkers on the retreat path, on the other hand, and this is starting to really cost him a lot of health here. He's lucky +2 wasn't done during that, or I think he might have lost even more.
Hidden base by herO down there in the south.
Yep, we see this tactic a lot when you're behind in PvP.
Look at this. The Stalker's trying to go for the attack, but just more warped in Zealots. He has a ton of gateways there. He will be able to do that.
He also doesn't know about that third base. He might have been able to do something with the Stalkers there. And Stats is just continue to warp in units here. He wants to keep the pressure on. Doesn't have to commit to an attack right now.
Oop. Oh, gotta be careful.
Yep.
Big time warp here. Uses it a bit early.
Yeah.
And herO's actually able to walk out of it.
Feedback goes down on that Mothership core. That's pretty huge for the next part of this battle. Stalker's trying to catch more reinforcements here, only distracting some Zealots, but look at how much larger Stats' army is, and he still has that +2 advantage. And he's just continuing to utilize this, you know, this poking power that his army composition has.
Well, time warp. Another time warp on the whole army here. Colossi are hitting the Zealots in the front here for herO, and another one pops out here, but a lot of Zealots pushing through, and a ton of Immortals in the back here for Stats, doing a lot of damage, picking up the Zealots and even moving them close to the Colossi. Looks like Stats has got this one, boys.
Yeah, he definitely does, man. That Warp Prism was able to freely just warp in Zealots right into the battle, and these Immortals are loving fighting Colossi straight up with Phoenix support. Warp Prism in the main base now. This game is very much over, and uh-oh, guys, Stats taking a 2-0, not what fans are expecting. There's a bit of a shaky applause here as Stats dominates back-to-back 2 games here.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people probably watching at home and people here in the studio are just looking back and forth. They're like, wait, what's happening? Are the colors switched? Like, what's going on? But no, you really got to hand it to Stats. He's playing really, really solidly here, and herO's looking a bit shaky.
And as he was saying in his interview yesterday, you know, he thinks this is a really important match for him for his career. And he's focusing on this individual league quite heavily, as Pro League, you know, is not going on right now. This match is really important to him. He doesn't have the championship and the stats and the backed up, you know, basically results that herO has. So it's really important to him to win this. He really wants it, and I got to say, he's looking like one of the most prepared players we've seen this tournament. We see a huge difference in the games we saw from him in the round of 16 that we see here in the finals. He's looks like a totally different player. He's put a lot of time in, and it's starting to show a ton.
Yeah, you're definitely right. I hope everybody at home is paying attention. This guy is a new up-and-comer. He's playing so well, and to take 2 games like this quickly against one of the most